Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. The name of the channel is Destined to Prosper. You are destined to prosper. So let's get into it. Today we're going to talk about the reason why in China, when a person is in difficulty on the road in public, let's say a person falls down or there's a fight or someone is beating up someone in public, nobody helps. I have heard a lot of foreigners in China talk about this and say Chinese people are very selfish. Chinese people don't care about nobody else. They care about only themselves. A whole lot of stories. Of course, everybody is entitled to their own opinion. But if you don't get to the root cause of something, you may never know why it's happening. Some videos online, you can see people fell down the street on the road, or people trying to cross the street, cross the road. Nobody helps. Everybody will be passing by. Just look at them, or don't even look at them, ignore them as if they don't exist or that thing is not happening. I have talked to a whole lot of people. I communicate more with Chinese people here than I communicate with foreigners because I want to learn as much as possible in the society where I live and call home for now. So I try as much as possible to know why certain things exist, because personally I have witnessed this a whole lot of times, even in certain situations where people need basic help. I use the word help for now. Something happens in my mind when I'm ready to do my videos. The words that I'm supposed to use will just run away, and then as soon as I'm done with the videos, they start creeping back and knocking at the door. Hey, I'm back here. You're not needed anymore. Get the hell out. When I needed you, you weren't here. So that's what happens to my words. Sometimes I feel like taking a pad and mark the words down so that when I get there, but I don't usually script out my videos or go to write stuff down. For me, I just talk from my heart based on my experiences. So it's difficult for me sometimes that when I'm ready to make the video and then some of these words will just disappear. Yeah. So back to it. I have experienced. No, I have seen personally. Have seen a lot of situations where the basic help that people need in public places, public areas, that they don't get it. In fact, somehow they are indirectly denied that. I wondered. There was an incident that's several years ago. That been could have been more than 7 years ago when I used to take buses a lot. I wish I can start doing that again, man, because it played a very significant role in my physical exercise. I used to take buses, even though I had a car, but I would park the car, take the buses, take the subway. I used to enjoy it a lot, but stop that for some time. Really not good for me. I want to start doing that again, taking buses everywhere I go. It's more convenient sometimes in certain places to drive a car, and that's why I do it. But if I'm in a mega city, like if I'm in Guangzhou for a while, I would prefer to take buses around because the parking is expensive. Driving around is not so easy. But if I'm in outskirts of the city, then yeah, I drive. But anyway, yeah. So I was on a bus from one place to another. That was years ago. The bus was full. It was evening time. No, it wasn't evening time. It was morning time, afternoon. Let's say lunchtime. Yeah, lunchtime, morning time. People were going to work. Morning time. Yeah, morning time. The bus was full. So when the bus is full, some people will stand up holding the whatever you call that thing everybody holds to not to fall down. I was sitting, let's say, 4 rows to the back. 4 rows to the back seat of the bus. That's a big bus. That bus could have been anybody who has seen Guangzhou City bus, or I'll put a picture up here or down here somewhere around the video. You can see what it looks like. One of those big buses, the city bus. So That bus would stop, pick up passengers, drop off, the bus stops, like this, keep going until it gets its final destination. Then it would maybe pack, load passengers, and then move again. The same route. I mean, in many countries, it's like this. So this bus stopped at a bus stop. And now, when it stops, the back door and the front doors will open. So if you're near the back, you get off from the back. But everybody must come in from the front because that's where you put your card or the money to pay for your fare or your whatever. These days everybody uses phone. Back in those days, most people were using cards, or you put your 2 yuan, it's 2 yuan or 3 yuan, depends on where you're going. You throw it in the box at the front. So everybody must get in from the front, but going out, you must go out from the back. Bus had cameras everywhere inside bus. So this old man came in. This old man could have been in his 80s, late 80s or early 90s, but he really looks strong. But I could see this is a very old man. And he came in from the front, past the bus driver. And at this time, a lot of people went out from the back. So the walkway, I mean, you have that straight walkway all the way to the back. You have the 2 seats on the left, on the right, 2 seats on the left, and then all the way to the back. And then when it gets to the back door, then there's there's a step up, higher seats, like 2 or 3 rows of seat to the back. So now this walkway is empty. Nobody is standing because a lot of people came off on that bus stop and that old man got in from the front. When I saw him walking towards me, I was sitting right there right like on the same line with that back door. I was sitting right there on aisle seat. Listen, this is the when you get here, the back door is to the right side of the bus, and on the left side of that bus is 2 rows of seat. Then after my seat, the back of my seat is like a step up going to the other 2 or 3 rows to the back. Now I was sitting there and there's someone sitting next to me, window seat. I'm sitting on the aisle, and then on the right side of me is the aisle, and then the door, back door. Old man got in, walked from the front, slowly, looking left, right, looking left and right to see if there was an empty seat. There was none. So, and I was looking at all the people sitting in front there to give him a seat, but nobody did. Many people were too focused on their phones. And the ones who weren't focused on their phones, as soon as they saw the old man walked in, they start pretending to be focusing on their phones. And some of them actually were asleep. Oh, that's another thing. A lot of people fall asleep on the bus in China. That never happened to me in my whole life. I hope it will never happen. I really admire those people who can fall asleep so easy. But anyway, some people were asleep, some people were pretending to be sleeping, some people were pretending to be playing with their phones, some people were actually playing with their phones. So this man walked all the way to the back there, like about 1 meter in front of me, then realized there was no empty seat, nowhere. He turned around to walk to the front, but also noticed nobody turned around to watch him or move. So what he did now, he held on to the pole. One hand to the pole and one hand to it's just a hanging something, handle you can put your hand. It's holding on like this. So I looked up at him, like the whole thing happened within like a minute and a half. Then I looked up at him. I knew if that bus made a move, that man would have fallen down. The man was old. So I knew if that bus had moved, that man would have fallen down. But I'm also very accustomed to watching my surroundings everywhere I am and, reading everybody's moves. I got up. I went to the old man and I told him to please come and take my seat. He said, no, it's okay. I'm getting out at the next stop. But I know there was no way that man could have stood up to the next stop because he was shaking, the old people. So I said, please, I know, but come and take my seat. I was speaking in Chinese to him. He said, oh, it's okay, it's okay. I knew he wanted to come and sit down, but you know, in China, there is this thing with people, especially the older generation, especially the older generation, they won't accept something from you the first time you offer them because it's kind of in the culture, it's kind of being polite. Offering something to somebody is like being polite. Maybe you don't really mean it. That's in the culture. So if you really mean to offer that thing to that person, you need to insist. Like keep pushing, you know. So, but honestly, I haven't mastered that at that time, or maybe I just didn't want to push that hard. So I've had him 3 times. I said, no, 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 it's okay. Thought in my mind, okay, if you really don't want to sit here, no problem. I went back to my seat and then I stood up next to my seat. I just motioned at him. I said, here, here. At that same time, he was standing in front of me. Remember, I'm in the back of him and I'm looking at the front of the bus. Then I realized that, shit, this bus hasn't moved because the bus was supposed to move like 2 minutes ago. It didn't move. Then thinking what's going on. Then, everything happened very fast. So I looked at the driver. Only then I realized that the driver of that bus was a lady because I looked at her. I saw she was looking at the rear view mirror and looking at the monitor. The cameras on the bus has a monitor in front there near the dashboard. She was looking at the rear view mirror, looking at the monitor, looking at the rear view mirror, looking at the dashboard, looking at the monitor. While I was motioning to the old man to come and sit here, I saw the driver not moving and looking. Then I decided to, okay, let me sit down. That driver, from where she was sitting, she'd say something very loud. Something like, why are you all sitting down? Don't you see that old man standing up? Why all of you just sit down there acting stupid? Don't you see that? But she said this in Chinese. And then she said it very loud, like very upset. When she said this, some people who were actually maybe sleeping or maybe actually focusing, watching their phones, or not paying attention, they actually looked up at her. They looked up. But immediately went back to what they were doing, pretended not to hear her. That woman waited for like 15 seconds. I could see her face in that rear view mirror, like turning from disappointment to anger. This lady got up from her seat, took off her seatbelt, got up from her seat, and grabbed a long whip. I don't know where she got it from. Apparently, maybe she's been dealing with this kind of shit before. This lady, the lady is, I don't know why I didn't, like, I was so busy that day. I was going somewhere very important and I was already almost late. If not, I would have wanted to collect the lady's phone number, information, and make friends with her. Maybe buy her dinner or something. Because what she did, my respect went from 0 to 100 in less than a minute for her. This lady Let me tell you what she looked like. She's not like a skinny, petite Southern Chinese woman. She is. It's only when she got up from the seat that I see she wore, I think, a long jean pants, and she is not the type of Chinese woman you can slap around. She is a little thick, not fat, thick, and not thick like American thick, but Chinese thick, like thick. Chinese skinny is this, Chinese thick is this, American thick is this. So she was thick ponytail hairstyle, and I think her bus driver uniform, can't remember what color it was, red, something, whatever. And what impressed me the most about the lady, I remember what she looked like. I could still see her standing in front of that bus today in my mind. It's like many years ago. But what impressed me, what created that impression in me about this lady was her action. Man, I love it when people act to defend defenseless people. It touches my heart. It touches my heart. I take off my heart for anybody. At any time I see someone defending defenseless people, kids, old people, pregnant women, you know, disabled people. Anytime I see someone, people that need help, people in distress, anytime I see anybody stand up for what is right, to defend what is right, the person will just grab my heart completely. The lady just, the part that still surprised me is that I don't know which part of that bus is long enough to contain or, yeah, contain would be the word. That long whip, that whip would have been about 2 meters. Yeah, I don't know where she grabbed it from. A whip, like, was that thing made of wood? Could have been made of wood or metal. But yeah, thickness, how do I measure it by centimeter? The thickness would be like something like this dumbbell metal, thickness of that, and about 2 meters long. She grabbed it, got out of her seat, ready to come down the aisle. Lord of mercy. Man, as soon as she whipped this out, got like come off her seat, one step, walking towards the back of the bus. Everybody got up. Oh, damn. Everybody. Sleeping people, people on the phone, people who were doing whatever, dead people. Every friggin' person jumped up from their seat. And the old man had like more than 20 seats to sit on. This lady. Well, honestly, if I was alone on that bus and then I was the one that, like did that stuff wrong, like not getting up for the old man to sit down, maybe I would, maybe I wouldn't be so scared of her. I would be impressed, but I wouldn't be so scared of her. But the fact that everyone jumped up means that they probably experienced this kind of thing before, experienced this kind of woman before, experienced or have seen, have heard of a situation like this before. And they knew that that lady was going to whoop their asses. And the way I saw the lady came off from that seat with that long whip, I think she wanted to start whipping from that seat right behind her, whipping everybody, whipping like really, like crazy. She was ready. When she got up from that seat, everybody jumped up. And then she said, you should be so ashamed of yourself, so stupid. You're sitting here and one foreigner got up. And then the rest of other things she said that I didn't pay attention. I was too impressed with her. I almost wanted to marry her right away. You know. Then I didn't pay attention to the rest of the stuff she was saying. I was like, damn, this bus rapper should be my best friend from today. And everybody got up, and then the ones that were sitting next to the old man, actually held him and said, please sit down. And then he sat down. That old man didn't come off the bus for another three bus stops. So I was too impressed with that lady in Guangzhou City. For days, I couldn't stop thinking about her. I forgot her bus number. I forgot everything. See how stupid I was. Because those are the kind of people I like to make friends with. Those are the kind of people I like to make friends with. So I think it's like the story has moved away from our topic. So if you are in China, you're gonna witness a lot of things like this. That brings me to another story. A few years ago, I was in